Hey, I'm back. I'm back. And we were right at the climax of the story where I was just, rehearsing all the horror and the nightmare of, and the point of the story was that this Me Too movement, it means a lot to me because I just on the way in today to San Dimas, it dawned on me that Me Too, I I experienced abuse and neglect. I experienced molestation, psychological molestation. I don't think anyone touched me actually, but I do know there was an adult in my life that was very inappropriate and really committed crimes against me. It's, well, why don't you turn him in? Well, I didn't know it was a crime at the time, and I didn't, and a little boy, what do you know? I mean, this man is telling you things, this man is showing you things, this man is influencing your life, and he's someone that is kind of funny, and your father brings this man into the house, and so you're just like, oh, okay. And you just think, oh, this is the way life is. You don't understand that this isn't the way life is. You don't know that this, not everybody doesn't do it the way that you're doing it. It's taken me 60 years now to where I know. And like in my family, I brought up a boy and a girl. My girl's going to be 15 in just a few days. I just had dinner with her last night, and we just had a really good time. And my daughter's going to be 15 years old, and she's amazing. Love my little girl. And I brought my family up, and we never had anything, not one iota, not a scintilla, nothing. 100% awesome family. Now, do we go through a divorce? Yes. Did we go through a hellish nightmare with a mother-in-law that ran us into the dirt? Yes, we did. Did my marriage to my wife survive? Well, no, it didn't. But in spite of all that other nightmare, as far as the things that I faced as a child, the abuse, the neglect, the molestation of my heart and my soul and my sense of right and wrong, in spite of all of that, my boys and girls never had any of that. My boy and girl, they are strong, they are mighty. My son is getting his own apartment, his own one-bedroom apartment. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of my son. I'm so proud of my son. I can't tell you, I'm just beyond words proud of my son. Because my son is a strong man. Is my son perfect? Does my son have no sin? Is my son? No. My son, Robert Micah, is not perfect. My son, Robert Micah, is not a great student. I mean, he's doing his high school, and he ended his high school in the computer. He did it by way of a program, software program. But he decided to do it that way, and he figured it out, and that's awesome. And he got out of the program he was in. He was in some sort of program there at the school for the my son is just amazing. I'm really, well, you're sure bragging on your boy. Yeah, I sure am, because of the fact that my boy is a young man who did not suffer like I suffered. Now, when my boy turned 18, he was teary-eyed, and he was upset. He said, "Papa, I wish I had my own room. I wish I had my own room. I wish I'd be in an intact family." And he was very, very heartbroken about that. And I agree with him. I said, yeah, son, I would have gotten a divorce in a million years. I've never participated in a divorce, never. I've suffered through the divorce, but I've never participated. I never said, yeah, and you too. No, that's not me. I have, you can ask my pastor, you can ask my brother, you can ask anybody you want, and they're going to tell you that the old man, old Bob, he hates divorce. I don't like divorce. Divorce is not my thing. Well, what's your thing? My thing ain't divorce. I'll say that much. I don't have any approval for divorce whatsoever. I don't care what the reason is. I hate it. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I think that it's an abomination. It's an abomination. It's what it is. Just a pure abomination of what God is determined. And and it's not the paperwork that I mind, it's the division, it's the cutting off of a limb. It's the idea that we're just gonna break off our left arm or take our two legs and throw them away, or no, you just can't do that. That's not the way that the Lord desires us to be. The Lord desires for us to be one flesh. And my son suffered because of that. But when my son did not suffer, never suffered from being shown things that would molest him, or molest his mind, or molest his senses. He never had that experience, because I never had magazines around the house. I never had things on the computers. I never had any of that stuff. When I was a kid, my dad had stacks and stacks of Hugh Hefner's magazines sitting around the house. I mean, and on the tables in the living room. And then this guy comes in from out of town, and he's bringing in things from Germany. And you can figure that out. I mean, back in the day, we didn't have this thing with the internet now, where you can just, with two shakes of a mouse's whiskers. This one? Do not use. Okay. How about, can I use this one? Can I use this one? I'm going to use this one. Here we go. There it is. It's in. So, no, this guy brought in a bunch of adult materials that were very explicit and very erotic and very seducing, and that he just thought it was the greatest thing in the world to show this young boy and show this teenage boy and get this little boy, and I know now, looking back, that was absolutely evil and wrong and sinful and bad, and you don't do that. And I get it now, but I didn't know that at the time, because I had no socialization. I wasn't allowed to really have friends. I had one friend in elementary school, Jerry, and Miss Jerry was my friend, and I went over to her house, and I got invited to one birthday party one time in second grade, and what happened was that my parents took me over there. I had my little shirt and tie, and I had everything. I went. I didn't do that. And the little boy across the street says, "Hey, that party was last week." And he knew it was a party because I had a gift, I had a tie, I had a little coat, and, looked like a little. So I didn't talk to people. I did not talk to anybody. Well, why don't you figure it out? Everybody, common sense. Common sense, they'll tell you. I didn't have any common sense. I mean, I was scared to death. When you're out of your mind scared, the Dugards, they just had that. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the Dugards, this family that just got discovered, where the children have been, basically captive, chained to things, and they haven't been fed, and they've just been. Do you think they have common sense? No. I'm going to tell you right now, they don't have common sense. They don't have common sense. When you're molested, when you're abused, when you're neglected, you don't think straight. Yeah, well, just do it. Yeah, right. Why, you out of your mind? I did my best. I've always been bright and happy and tried to do my best. But if you don't have the equipment, if you don't have the tools, if you don't have the mental capacities, if you haven't been taught and trained, and I sought God, and I prayed to God, and I wished that God would help me. And I have grown, and I'm not where I was. That's the point of today's Devo, really, is that I'm not where I was in 1956. I'm not where I was in 1957 or 58 or 59. I'm not where I was in 1964 or 1968 or 1974. I'm not where I was. And so rewinding to look back is okay, but saying that you're going to live in 1957. That's where you're going to live, and that's where you're stuck. No cassette tapes. No John F. Kennedy. No Lyndon Baines Johnson. No Nixon. No Ford. No Carter. Reagan didn't, Reagan's a movie star. You're not going to see Bush or Clinton. Not going to see the other Bush. Not going to be Barack Obama for sure. No. When I was a kid, people were still riding in the back of the bus. It was still, Jim Crow was just barely extinguished. And in the South, there were still kids that couldn't go to school. And the teacher taught me how to teach. He said he remembered that in the classrooms at Cal State Los Angeles, the blacks stood in the back. They didn't get a seat. Even if there was a seat, you stand. You don't get to sit down. That was in my lifetime. That's so. Rewinding is good to say, hey, okay, we're gonna straighten this out. We're gonna get this. But at the same time, when you rewind and then you want to change someone to the time period, you want to change someone to the experience, you want to change someone to the nightmare, you want to change someone forever to a place where they are not anymore. They're not there anymore. We're not at 1950 and 7. We're not at a place where we've grown, we've progressed. So today, don't hold anybody back. Don't hold anybody frozen. Allow people to grow and progress and to move forward. And let's what do you think the whole purpose of Christ coming is? Christ didn't come so that people can just stay where they are in their sin, in their doubt, in their horror, in their nightmare. No, Christ came so that we could be free, to break free of the past, to acknowledge what we've done, pay for what we've done. He's already paid. But in community, if you've took a stick of gum and you got to go down and pay a fine or serve time in jail or be on probation, well, just do your job. Do your job. Get over there and get it done. And then be free. Then be happy. And then look up and laugh and love and lift. All right, I love you. Give me a call, 1-213-713-8954, 8954green@att.net, on the Twitter, Mr. Bob, 8954, and of course you're watching Bob's Daily Devo on YouTube. I'll talk to you in a few. God bless you. Love you.